wrap it up with the questions for now, but thank you guys. So unfortunately, Minden could not make it. He's a busy man. Oh, sorry, wrong. I got it wrong. Just kidding. We're going to the co-treasurers right now. Oh, for those of you who are leaving, the code, what is it? A20? 20A. Oh, 20A. You'll need that for the Google form for when you're voting. 20A. Okay, we're gonna move on to the co-treasurers. We're gonna cap it at 5 questions from the general members. Just because of time, but yes. Come on.
Here you go. Hi, me and Isaac here are gonna run for co-treasurer for next year. My name is Joseph Ikossi. I come from San Jose, California, and I'm pursuing a double major in biochemistry and economics, and I'll let Isaac introduce himself too.
Hi, my name is Isaac Weng. I'm from Milford, Mass, and I'm a CS major.
Yeah, so we're running here as a pair, and so last night in the VSA eBoard group chat, both me and Isaac shared our feelings across a few short sentences about what VSA means to us. And in all honesty, it was very similar. So I think I can speak for the both of us when I say what VSA has really done for us. In short, VSA has really been a family for us here, and through hard times and good times, VSA is always there. In terms of the events and board meetings, and every time and every moment that we spend around the people within VSA, we not only feel welcome, but we feel like we can be genuine and we can be ourselves. Some of the moments, like my personal favorites, and I think there were Isaac's as well, were the culture show last night, and how many smiles we were able to bring to not only the people performing, but also the people in the general audience, and the Yet Pretty event, which was absolute madness, and I don't think could have been much more fun than it was. And in terms of the duties of the actual treasurer and how we will address that next year, and how we will perform and seek to pursue the position. Isaac, a few words on that.
So as co-treasurers, a lot of our events, some of them are like greatest memories here at VSA, come from Retreat, Jeopardy, Culture Show. All of those were pretty big events, and they have they cost a lot of money. They have big budgets. So as treasurers, our goal would be to further sustain and maintain our budget, because VSA, if you guys didn't know, we have one of the largest budgets of the culture clubs here. And then so our job and responsibility would be to maintain and grow that if we could. Other than that, a lot of our responsibilities are background responsibilities. So like Retreat, we, along with the presidents and the vice presidents for next year, over the summer we'll have to plan like location, budgeting, like buses, all that stuff. That'll be our responsibility. For events, we budget and plan them at the beginning of every semester, and then we submit them to OSI. And then for the more everyday stuff, we would just buy the materials needed for each event.
I think that's all, and I think we're open to questions from Andrew and Kenny about how we will perform the tasks that they've wonderfully done this year. Yeah.
Let's say hypothetically you budgeted for an event and you made the purchase request, but then OSI is not responding. How would you guys go about dealing with that situation if the event is in a few days?
Go talk to Sarah. We would probably go meet with OSI like personally, because without funding for our event, we wouldn't be able to do anything, but we would probably pull from our reserve like revenue, something like that.
What do you plan on doing in the case that any of the supplies that you order are coming late? In any case that like OSI hasn't been responding, your purchase request like hasn't come through, or Amazon is just late on all your shipments?
Yeah, I can take this one, I think. In short, that should almost never happen if we prepare in advance, but long enough and we give enough time in case something like that happens. But in case it does, there's not only things that the other members of the club could do to address it if something isn't completely essential and necessary. But in the case that something necessary is missing, then we can take sort of last minute emergency steps to do what needs to be done.
Following up on that, a lot of our events, we have a lot of like extra items that we purchase, and then like in our lockers, we have a lot of extra materials that we can use. For example, our Jeopardy, something happened with our prize and we got a new prize. But from shadowing the both of you a lot, for example, Andrew like always buys everything like a few weeks in advance, and then we always have everything ready. And if something doesn't come in, we can always just buy it again and then like talk to OSI.
Are you guys all set with questions? Yeah. So we'll have a maximum of 5 questions from you guys for the treasurers.
Yeah, Carolyn?
Let's talk a lot about raising money raising our budget. How would you go about that?
I think a lot of that is communication skills and working with the people at OSI. And in terms of energy and in terms of personality, and even the ability to be cordial and formal, I think Isaac and those are some of our strengths. And we also have Kenny and Andrew not to fall back on, but to look to for advice and expertise and how they've performed the treasurer duties so well this year.
To follow up on that, the actual event itself, something that's really important is what I talked about earlier, the beginning of the semester budget requests for our events, and then through those, we increase, or we try to like raise or sustain our budget by explaining to OSI like the reason for why we purchase these items, like why they're necessary and how we can use them for future events and stuff like that. Julianne?
So you talked a lot about planning and salary and kind of things, but given that Joseph lives in California, did go do the same this summer?
Not exactly, but
He lives in like Europe.
yeah, I'll be in
So given that you'll be in Europe and Isaac will probably be in the US, which is like a huge time difference. How do you guys plan on being able to combat that time difference and be able to adequately communicate and work together while you have like that?
Yeah, so I'll be spending the majority of my summer in Athens, Greece, taking a course, and the time difference is about 7 hours from Athens to here. And in the age of the internet, in the age of emails, text messages, all of that, one, we don't always have to work on things at the same time. We can work asynchronously for almost everything to complete what needs to be done for the summer. And even with that time difference, if I'm working later, he can work earlier in the day. And especially because in the summer, we will have more free time than we would on a normal day here at BC. We can also adjust our sleep schedules. Nothing's set in stone, so I don't think it'll be an issue at all.
Adding on to that, a lot of the like Joseph said, a lot of the things we can do daily. So like we can ask each other to complete a task like by this day, or like finish this amount of stuff per week. And then also like if you were wondering about like retreat planning, because it's also with like the presidents and then the vice president, and four of us would be in the New England area. It would be, we would be able to just like produce stuff together and then catch Joseph up, and then Joseph can let us know like his opinions. We could do things on a weekly or monthly basis.
Wait, I have a question. How much money do you have per semester?
It depends based on what we use our first semester. Like, you want cultural food budget or non, like cultural food budget? I don't remember, I did the math the other day. It's like 250.
So it's 1,000, split between 2 semesters, so 500 first semester, second semester is 500.
So why do we only have 250 for semester?
Because we spent, yeah, it's first
Oh,
semester.
okay, that, so, okay.
We like a portion of the 500, it's 1,000.
It's because we add our prep event, which is a food event.
Any other questions? Okay, cool. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, Min is not here, but he has a recording for his video, so we'll play right now. And then we'll be taking 5 questions from you guys, and then also the question from the current VP. And he'll